matter, prices do tend to be higher, and the quality of service and products lower in stores in low-income neighborhoods. But the knee-jerk assumption that this represents exploitation or racism ignores the economics of the situation. Many of the ghetto stores high prices are struggling to survive, while supermarkets in other neighborhoods are very profitable, charging lower prices. There are many reasons for this. The reason least likely to be acknowledged by those who blame the store owners is that crime, shoplifting, vandalism, and riots have raised the costs, both directly and by causing insurance rates and the costs of security to be higher in ghetto neighborhoods.
Now, that's what I was talking about. You starve the people, they start stealing, and then it gives you excuse not to say that because they say that's all they're doing. Um, Listening to that, Miss Kim, are you there? She may be sitting down. Miss Summer, you there?
I'm here.
So, listening to what we just listened to, and how, what do you think? What is your take on this? How do we look at, we don't have things because we do things, and we do things because we have to do things in order to live. Did I lose you?
No, no, it's just a lot to take in. I myself did not know that that was going on. I just thought that uh this is all news to me, so I'm just kind of like taking in everything. I mean, it just seems like it's just a setup. It's just we're just not made to get the best of anything. We are considered it's just a constant reminder of how society views us, and we're not supposed to have quality. We get the scraps. We're not supposed to thrive. We're supposed to be uh kept ill and at bay and reliable and needy and it's just a lot to take in. And liquor stores on every corner, but rarely do you see farmers markets or things of that nature with fresh produce. And so it's just a lot to take in. So I just truly believe it's just a setup.
You got to keep your head up. Ooh, child.
Hey, I'm
Um,
just I'm a little baffled on how I'm not sure if I'm hearing it right. If the guy said that we're starving or they're starving us, I'm not sure how they're
no,
starving us because
well, no, no. Hear me out. Hear me out. And I don't mean starving as they're physically taking food out of kids' mouths,
right,
but if you live in for example, I grew up in New York. I grew up in New York, Queensbridge Projects, QB for L. Um, there was a point where jobs were plentiful, factories were open, and right in the early to mid 70s, they started deindustrializing the North, and a lot of those jobs went down south. Well, people didn't move down south, so they went from having two incomes to maybe having one
mhm,
or none. So if there's no jobs around, people ain't making money. People ain't making money, well, legitimately.
right.
And then you have to turn to other means, which means you're
But see,
creating a bigger problem. And that's what I meant by that.
right, yeah, but I understand that. But I mean, but what it sounds like, I know what you said, but it sounds like the guy was saying that, that they're doing it to us. If like you just said, if the jobs move, then, we got to move with them. We got to make, we got the choice. That's choices we have to make, to sit here and say, okay, they doing it to us. Well, how are they doing it to us? If I own a store and I'm selling my, $6 eggs, $8 eggs, whatever they are nowadays. And it comes in, I got to buy them. I got to put them on the shelf. I got to sell them because John down the street can't afford them means it's my fault. See, that's what it made the guy say made it sound like. It was the
Yeah,
storekeepers.
No, I got you. I got you. It's just, but I'm just, I think we agree. It's just that we're just looking at it from different perspectives. Neither one said we can, both things can be true at the same time. Cousin David, can you hear me? Cousin David, Cousin Candy, how you doing? Oh,
Can you hear me?
yes, I can hear
You
you.
hear me now? How you
Yeah.
doing?
Yes. Where you at right now? Where are you located right now?
I'm in Willow Grove, PA. I'm trying to help another cousin Angie from Jersey, trying to help her log on.
Okay. The question is, being, our people are from Philadelphia area, Philadelphia, New Jersey. Have you seen those situations to where grocery stores and things moved out that neighborhood? Or if you went to like somewhere where it was a lot less melanin, did you see the price differences there?
Everything in Philadelphia, I moved out of Philadelphia in 2022. Everything in Philadelphia they were starting to gouge in 2016 when Trump ran the first time. Everything was starting to get high. Stores were moving. Even the stores that the people could afford, like the Family Dollars, Dollar Tree, Dollar General, they started closing. The supermarkets, the most frequented supermarkets are ShopRite, it was Pathmart, and Fresh Grocer. And they started closing those. And that's where the people could afford the food. Now we have Acme's, Giants, and we still have ShopRite. ShopRite and Fresh Grocer are the same market. So the prices are pretty much, they're not bad, but they're not great. The only thing that's ridiculous is the price of the eggs in all of the stores. But they closed. They frequented a store called Super Fresh here from the 90s all the way up to about 2010, and then they closed them. But everything's high. Everything's high. The food, and they started selling food at the dollar stores, which I wouldn't recommend unless you just don't have a choice.
And that's most people.
Right. But right now in Walmart, which I frequent, I had to pick and choose, I have to look at dates, I have to make sure that, this food is fresh or appears to be fresh and won't make me sick or kill me. I make sure everything is cool. You know what I mean? Thank God I got a good nose when I open up the package. But the eggs are $6 for a dozen. $9 for $9. $9 for 18. And what Walmart is doing is they're wrapping them up and putting two 18 packs together, and that's like $16 or $17 or something like that. Just ridiculous.
No, the
Man.
36, the Walmart eggs used to be you get 64 eggs for $13.99.
Right.
They're going for $36 now.
Right. Right. You might as well be buying a pair of sneakers because it's ridiculous. And I'm looking at them and I'm watching it. And what's going on now is as bad as it is right now. And we get a lot of our stuff from abroad. We get a lot of stuff from overseas. As bad as it is right now, those tariffs kicked in today.
Yep.
Today they kicked in. So I couldn't even tell you what it's going to be like tomorrow morning. Lord willing, we all here. I can't tell you what it's going to be like, but you got to watch stuff. I said, I lived in Frankfurt in the Northeast, and that's like one of the poorest communities in the Northeast. It wasn't really bad when I moved in there, but it always goes down before it gets gentrified. That's the way they do things in Philly. And we had like 6 mayors, and all 6 mayors were involved in that. So when you gentrify a neighborhood, you see what you need. If it's going to be, if they need it, if they don't need it, they get rid of it. Like there's stores like Aldi and Trader Joe's and Bottom Dollar, those places people could afford. Like they gentrified a neighborhood in Philadelphia around 40th, 34th and Girard. They gentrified that whole neighborhood, put millions of dollars worth of apartments and houses in the neighborhood. And then the people could afford it. The houses were like $300,000, but they had this store called Bottom Dollar. And everybody was like loving it because the food was real cheap. You know, nobody had any complaints about the food. The food was fresh. They had fruits, fresh produce and stuff like that. And then all of a sudden it just disappeared. It was gone. So the markets that they had specifically for low income folks, they started snatching those out to make, now the poor people have to spend bigger money or higher money that they probably can't afford.
Yeah, no, that's.
Thanks for watching. This is the man with the golden voice, the lady's choice, and of course, smooth as a Rolls Royce, saying, never make love by the garden gate, though love is blind, the neighbor's aim.